The truth about Crumbl Cookies. Imagine a business that started in one small storefront that even doubled as its own kitchen, with just one item on the menu, a single chocolate chip cookie. No prior baking experience, no massive funding from big-name investors, just two cousins with a simple idea. 6 years later, this business had grown into more than 1,000 stores across the United States, with an estimated valuation exceeding $2 billion. This is the story of Crumbl Cookies. And in this video, we're tracing the full journey, from early failures to smart strategic decisions to how one simple idea about cookies turned into one of the fastest growing food franchises in America. To understand Crumbl's success story, we need to go back, long before the first cookie was ever baked. Jason McGowan's journey as an entrepreneur actually began well before Crumbl was even an idea. While still a student at Brigham Young University, Jason tried building a social network project. Unfortunately, it failed. But that failure didn't stop him. It became a valuable experience that shaped his mindset as a business builder. After that, Jason built a successful career in tech, working at Ancestry, a well-known genealogy technology company. There, he gained valuable experience in how tech companies operate, grow, and innovate. But even though his career at Ancestry was going well, something kept nagging at him. He realized he actually wanted to build his own company, not spend his energy making someone else's dream come true. This realization became a key turning point that pushed him to start looking for his own business opportunity. This is where another key figure enters the story, Sawyer Hemsley, Jason's younger cousin. Sawyer had a fairly unique trait. He repeatedly pitched various business ideas to Jason, even though his previous ideas had failed multiple times. Many people might give up after several consecutive failures, but Sawyer kept trying, kept pitching new ideas, and never lost the drive to find something that would truly work. What's interesting is that Jason saw something incredibly valuable underneath this pattern of behavior: persistence. Instead of viewing Sawyer's repeated failures as a sign he wasn't cut out for business, Jason actually admired his cousin's never-give-up attitude. Because of this, Jason continued mentoring and even investing in Sawyer's growth as an entrepreneur. This was a very important decision, not just about supporting family, but about recognizing that persistence and a willingness to keep trying are often a far stronger predictor of long-term success than instant success on the first attempt. The idea for Crumbl was born out of a simple observation Sawyer made. He noticed how desserts had a unique power to bring people together in moments of connection, especially at family gatherings. From this simple observation, Sawyer realized there was a big, largely untapped opportunity: dessert delivery. Not just a regular bakery, but a business specifically built around a dessert experience that could be delivered directly to customers. What's interesting is that neither Jason nor Sawyer had any baking experience whatsoever. That sounds like a major weakness for starting a cookie business. But instead of giving up because of this limitation, they approached the problem in a way that was distinctly shaped by Jason's tech background. They spent 5 full months rigorously and systematically testing various cookie recipes. Instead of relying on a traditional, handed-down family recipe, they treated recipe development like building a tech product, with constant experimentation, repeated testing, and most importantly, gathering direct feedback from potential customers at every stage of development. This data-driven, iterative approach is actually quite rare in the traditional bakery industry, which typically relies more on family heirloom recipes or a chef's intuition. But it was precisely this unconventional approach that became the strong foundation for the product they eventually launched. To get the business started, Jason and Sawyer secured their first storefront at a relatively low cost, a space that served double duty, also functioning as their cookie production kitchen. While renovating this space, they documented the entire renovation process on social media. This wasn't just casual documentation. It was a smart strategy to build anticipation and curiosity among potential customers even before the store officially opened. People began following their journey, curious about what was going to emerge from this space under renovation. Another crucial strategic decision involved their launch menu. Instead of opening the store with dozens of menu items at once, which could confuse customers and slow down preparation, They chose to launch with just one product, a chocolate chip cookie. This decision sounds incredibly simple, but it was actually very clever. With just one product, they avoided endless debates over which recipe needed perfecting first. They could focus entirely on making this one product genuinely exceptional instead of splitting their attention across many variants with potentially inconsistent quality. Even though a competitor opened a similar store 1 week earlier, Crumbl still achieved an impressive milestone on its own opening day. They sold out of their entire cookie stock. This should have been great news. But it turned out that selling out every single day quickly became an operational problem that needed to be addressed right away. Imagine facing disappointed customers lining up every day only to find the cookies already sold out before they could buy any. Out of this problem came something that would eventually become Crumbl's most iconic signature feature, the weekly rotating menu. Instead of selling the same cookie flavors every single day, Crumbl began changing its menu selection every week, rotating through a variety of different flavors. This strategy created two extremely powerful psychological effects at once. First, a scarcity effect. Because each flavor was only available for a limited time, customers felt they needed to buy it soon before the menu changed the following week. Second, this strategy naturally encouraged customers to keep coming back regularly, since there was always a new flavor waiting to be tried each week. This wasn't just a fix for an operational problem. It became an incredibly effective long-term customer loyalty engine. As demand kept growing, Jason and Sawyer began experimenting with a franchise model as a way to expand their reach faster. But like most businesses that start franchise expansion, their early franchise operations suffered from inconsistent quality. This is a classic challenge in the food franchise business. How do you make sure every single location, no matter where it is, produces a product with exactly the same quality as the original store? This is where Jason's tech background came into play again. Instead of relying solely on written manuals or in-person training that's hard to scale, Jason developed an internal training app complete with highly detailed, step-by-step instructional videos. This app effectively standardized the baking process across all franchise locations, ensuring that cookies made at any given branch would have the same taste and quality as the original recipe they'd spent 5 months developing. This is a perfect example of how a tech mindset can be applied to solve a classic operational challenge in the traditional food industry. After refining their franchise system alongside trusted family and friends as their earliest franchise partners, Crumbl began expanding at a rapid pace. By the end of 2018, they already had 16 stores in operation. At this point, Sawyer spotted another rapidly growing opportunity, TikTok, which was still in its early growth phase at the time. Sawyer began consistently posting engaging, mouth-watering videos of Crumbl Cookies on the platform. The decision to leverage TikTok during its early growth phase turned out to be one of the smartest marketing moves in Crumbl's entire journey. These cookie videos dramatically increased brand awareness, reaching a far wider audience than any conventional marketing strategy could have, while also reinforcing Crumbl's colorful, highly visual brand identity, perfect for short-form video content. Then came the COVID-19 pandemic, a period that, surprisingly, actually accelerated Crumbl's growth rather than slowing it down. During the pandemic, demand for delivery orders surged dramatically as many people looked for ways to enjoy small moments of happiness amid a difficult situation, and cookies delivered straight to your door became a very appealing option. Demand for opening new franchises surged right along with this trend. The growth numbers themselves are impressive. From 55 stores in 2019, Crumbl exploded to more than 300 stores by 2021. And by the end of 2022, they were operating nearly 700 stores, generating close to $1 billion in revenue. And at its peak, by the first quarter of 2024, Crumbl had surpassed 1,000 store locations across the United States, with an estimated valuation exceeding $2 billion. So what's the big lesson we can take away from this remarkable journey? Crumbl managed to turn a simple idea about cookie delivery into one of the fastest growing food franchises in America. The key wasn't just about having a tasty product. The key was a combination of many factors. Persistence that never gave up despite repeated failure, a data-driven and systematically experimental approach to product development, the courage to make a simple yet strategic decision like focusing on just one product at launch, the ability to turn an operational problem into a competitive advantage through the weekly rotating menu, using technology to solve the classic challenge of quality standardization, and sharp timing in leveraging a rapidly growing social media platform at exactly the right moment. Crumbl's story teaches us that major success is often born not from one magical moment, but from a series of smart decisions that reinforce each other, carried out by people who never stop trying despite facing repeated failure. If you enjoy business case studies like this, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss other case studies on global business successes and failures. See you in the next video.